here at Final Descent Outdoors, we're blessed with some incredible staffers, and not just great hunters, but great people. But Paul Powers and Johnny Maxwell, two of our staffers that hunt together, you couldn't find two guys who are more opposite.
I'm outspoken.
Very much so.
You maybe not as much. I'm up front, straightforward. You're more sneaky. Reserved, sneaky, reserved, same thing. I'm more, I'm younger, you're older. I'm better looking. You can play guitar better. You're a better golfer. You're a better golfer. You're a cattle man, rancher, mechanic extraordinaire, can fix anything there is that has wheels or an engine. I cannot. I can make a yard look nice with the lawnmower and a weed eater. You have any input on this, or do I have to do all the talking?
Good.
Randy.
I don't believe a word.
What am I saying that's not accurate? What am I saying that's not accurate?
Paul's a super guy. We met on the basketball court. We was playing ball against one another. And if I recall right, he pile drive me in the middle of the lane. So that's how we first met. Then we started hunting together, and pretty much made a pretty good team as far as hunting.
He's got some fantastic property, so I really got lucky. He kind of got lucky too, because he never had me in his life before I came along.
You're luckier.
That's to be debated. He's pretty lucky to have me. Three of the biggest bucks he's ever killed in his life have come in the last 5 years, where I helped him. Would you agree with that? I helped you.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. We have a great time. We hunt hard, we play hard, we have a good time. Johnny does a fantastic job. We do a good job. We work hard at it year round. We're getting stuff ready year round and dealing with plots and where to put stuff. Don't you think we do a lot of work? Yeah. Chime in. This is where you come in and say we do tons of good work.
Yeah, we work pretty good together.
Do have fun doing it.
Yeah. You show up about the time the work's done.
I do most of the important work. I have Johnny, I kind of direct him, but I do 90% of the strategic planning.
Seriously. There we go.
This year we've been following our trail cams and keeping track of these bucks. We've got a really, really good buck that Johnny's been chasing a couple of years called Mo. Had a run-in with him last year at Encounter, didn't go well like we wanted it. We've got getting him closer, so we're gonna see if we can get him dialed in and get him down with the Matthews.
Night before rifle season, we got a buck we've been hunting called Mo. We got a front coming in, wind's in our favor, so we're gonna give him a try this evening.
Out there on that ridge chasing some dogs. Looks like they're headed this way. Here they come.
I'm down here, had to self-film. I couldn't get here in time. He didn't wait on me. Anyway.
You did put the blind up for me. I do appreciate that.
I did put this blind in a really, really good spot. You'll see to see here in this footage. Anyway, we got to come down in here. We're trying to look. We gave this buck a couple hours. You can see on the footage when he shot, the bow hit the tripod. He self-filmed and did a great job doing that, but the bow hit the tripod, shook it, so we're not positive on the shot, so we're going to give him a little time. Go through there. There's a gap in the fence right there. What do you see up there? Woo! Here we are, the night before rifle season. Randy has to scream and holler and celebrate. I may be here rifle hunting in 4 or 5 hours, and he's in here screaming. I guess the night's worth it. This is a buck that's kind of been Randy's nemesis the last year or two. 2 years specifically. We've been hunting this buck. We call him Mo. Had a run-in with him last year. Didn't get it how we needed to work out, and we were happy to see him come back on the camera. He's been a tough old buck to get a look at in the daylight. He picked the wrong day to come on this little food plot. Right here we got a little setup in this ground blind in this food plot with a north wind. I know the guy that set that up. I told him back early that if we got a chance, this would be a great spot of good cold weather. It worked just like it's supposed to in the rut. Great buck. Randy, good shot, brother. Matthews no cam, scent blocker camo, 30-06 bow sight, Carbon Express arrows, Vortex optics. It all came together on a great, great buck. We stumbled in here and found Randy's buck. Had that time broke, as you can see on the footage there. We got to look at this tree he come by. Evidently he ran right into that tree and hit it. I suspect this deer probably run by here and broke his neck as he was going by. What do you think?
You're probably right.
We don't care what happened, he's laying on the ground.
Well, Paul Powers had an unbelievable year deer hunting in 2016, and it all got started during Oklahoma's muzzleloader season.
So we finished up the morning hunt. We're gonna go across the way and check some property, check another camera. No good this morning on stand. We had a couple of close encounters. It was a good morning, a lot of activity, a lot of rutting activity seemed to be, which is unusual for 85 degrees today, this afternoon. We're gonna go down here and check another camera. Right down here, right around the bend here, see if we can see one. Dude, there's a buck right out there. Look at this buck right out there. When we see this buck out in this grass field, it looked like a really big mature deer. We running 20 plus cameras and I had never seen this buck before and I knew I hadn't. So we watched him and he bedded down with a doe out in that short grass. I told Ryan, my good buddy, I said, this deer, I'm not positive he's a shooter, but I think he's got a chance to be. We're driving around, gonna go down there, circle down there and look. And out in this love grass, there's a big old buck standing on a ridge. We don't know for sure what he is. He's just a big mature deer, heavy, mature buck. We watched him bed down with a doe out here, right out in the middle of nothing. So we're gonna put our best snake on him.
The Mohican snake.
Mohican sneaking. And see if we can get closer to him. I'm not convinced he's a shooter. But I'm not convinced he's not either. He gets out here and we sneak up on this bad boy and he stands up. I think he's gonna look pretty good. And no night, disc extreme, and they get to bark. I've got an itchy finger. We snuck through this timber. He's right out here, about 150, 200 yards. We've, Rhino's running camera for me, so we sit up here to give ourselves a minute to let it figure out what the plan's gonna be. He's laying out there with that doe. I think we got all day. We're gonna try to get right on this hump, right up this little drainage ditch in this grass. Let it happen. He's right out here about 100 yards. Good buck, dude. He's heavy, got a lot of trash on him. He's bedded with this doe. I left my shooting sticks at the house. They're not at the house, I'm thinking we're gonna try to crawl out here and see if we can close the distance. Get that terrace. I'll So we get to this terrace that we'd picked out up in this ridge. We knew the buck was still laying there. He would occasionally pick his head up just enough to see he was a big mature deer, had great mass. We didn't know exactly what he was, but he was a big mature deer with great mass, and I knew this was a buck that would be worthy of a shot in Oklahoma if he got up and gave us a chance. So we crawled out on that terrace and just laid there and settled in and took our time and just waited on him to stand up and give us an opportunity. As luck would have it, a smaller buck came over the hill, obviously on the scent of that doe that big buck had bedded. That smaller buck comes over the ridge, walks up on him. Big boy said he wasn't having any of that, so he gets up to take care of business with that little buck and run him off. He didn't know we were laying in the weeds waiting. Buck came over the hill, and this old bruiser buck wasn't going to have any of that. He's not huge, but it's super awesome. The old night muzzleloader, disc extreme, put the thump on him. You know, he's not going to score a ton, but what an awesome carrot buck with a ton of character. This is a South Central Oklahoma monarch, boy. Just an old buck. Look at that mass. Just awesome. He's got scars all over him where he's been fighting. You know, he's seen days, boy. Just an awesome buck. Rhino, we snuck right out here, Rhino. Thanks for cameraman, brother.
You bet.
We got it. We can get it done. Rhino killed a great buck a couple of nights ago. It's October. It's 85, 88 degrees during the day. These bucks don't care. They got it on their mind. Just an awesome buck. Proud to get him. You know, I give him heck a lot, but in all seriousness, there's never been as good a guy as Johnny Maxwell. He'll be there for you when you need him. I enjoy the heck out of it, and I'm blessed and thankful for our friendship and that Lord brought us together. Yes, and I'm the honest one. Remember that. So it's been a great relationship, and we have a great time, and it's fun.
Well, that was two great bucks by two great guys. And if you haven't had a chance to be around Johnny and Paul before, they really are total opposites of one another. In our spiritual lives, we have to understand that God is perfect. I mean, He's without sin, and He can't be in the presence of sin, which is kind of a bad deal for me and you because, well, we're sinners. 2 Corinthians 5:21 says that God made Him, being Jesus, God's Son, He made Him to be sin. Though He knew no sin, He became sin on our behalf. He took on our sin, and through that being the perfect sacrifice, we're able to be righteousness in God's eyes. You see, perfection and sin are polar opposites. And you see, Jesus was perfect. He lived a perfect life. And He came to the earth and He took all the sin of the world upon His shoulders and died on the cross so that me and you could be forgiven. So the question is today, have you been forgiven? Has there been a point where you came to realize the sacrifice that Jesus made for you and for me on the cross, and you've asked Him to come into your life to be your Lord and Savior? If you've done it, we'd love to hear about your testimony. But if you haven't done it, we would love for you to go to our website, send us an email, shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. We would love to be able to answer any questions you might have about starting a relationship with Jesus. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode. God bless you. We'll see you next week.